don't know what I'm doing.
Oh,
I'm here.
maybe I'll tell
I'm
you
here,
about
and
it.
I'm here at the direction of my bosses, Dr. Maria and Ted, who tell me what to do. I'm just a, and they're going to tell us what we're what we're doing tonight with that big 80. I don't know what that 80 is
That
doing.
big 80 behind you.
I thought we were celebrating Ronald Reagan's victory in 80 because we want to reproduce it. We want to reproduce it. So tell me, what are we doing here, Dr. Maria?
Well, Caroline Wren, who I don't know where she's at, a GOP fundraiser,
She's looking for another light.
and a few other people in 2 days' time came up with an idea to celebrate Mayor Rudy Giuliani's 80th birthday here in Florida. It's beautiful. The people are just absolutely wonderful. Beautiful setting, beautiful decorations. Rudy was quite surprised and touched. But here he is, a historical figure. It's not every day you can meet a famous person, an infamous person, but to sit and enjoy somebody who has impacted us historically. And you only know the tip of the iceberg. You know the man who took down the mafia. You knew the mayor of New York City who cleaned up that city, lowered crime more than any other mayor in the history of the United States, saved more Black lives than any other mayor as well. We all stood on his shoulders, didn't we, during 9/11 and thereafter, right? You comforted all of us. I was from New Hampshire and I waited every single day for Mayor Rudy Giuliani to come on the television. But that's only half of it. Post public life, he had the biggest consulting firm. 4 presidents used him. A total of 4 presidents used him for foreign policy. And he may not even be able to tell us all about it. And thankfully, he stood up for President Trump, the people's president, who was being impeached unfairly from day one.
Until until we fix it. Until
And
we fix our country.
the most important thing, when we started seeing the courts become corrupt after the 2020 election, and many lawyers try to get in front of judges, but they didn't want to hear from witnesses. Rudy, at the last minute, had to fill in for a lawyer in Pennsylvania because that lawyer was being threatened and the judge wouldn't allow a witness. So Rudy Giuliani, nobody else, Rudy Giuliani said, you know what? State legislators are responsible for election integrity. Here's the witnesses. There are American citizens. This isn't Rudy making this up. He was basically representing Americans, and they were brave enough to step forward, brave enough to write affidavits. And Rudy went on a roadshow to Michigan, to Georgia, to Pennsylvania. And guess what? That can't be censored. It's on record. Those are all on film, and I encourage you to watch them yourself and listen to your brethren. And you will see that there was shenanigans in the 2020 election.
Yeah, they stole it. Right? I mean, we talk
Yeah.
English here.
And
This show is uncensored and we talk English.
and
The words, unlike 1984, the words mean what they say. It's not the opposite.
not the opposite, like the Biden administration. They accuse us of everything they do. But you probably saw that there was a hearing just a few weeks ago in Georgia. Many people want to look at the actual ballots and look at the paper with paper experts. Guess what?
Not a bad idea.
300 and what, 70, 80,000 ballots missing right now.
Just about the number, believe me, I can show you the paper. Just about the number that we estimated they had printed in this little office that we were told they had. It was really more like 400, but that's pretty close.
Yes. So thank you, Mayor Giuliani. Thank you, Caroline, and all the people, and Loretta, and everybody who brought this together in such a short amount of time.
And when
A lot of superstars here, but one, I'm a little fangirl right now because Steve Bannon walked in. And I was like, oh, do I genuflect? I don't know.
just ask for an autograph.
Well, here you go, Steve Bannon.
Well, I'm going to take it.
Oh, we got Steve here, so what the heck? We're not gonna cut away.
It's only.
Steve, thank you for coming.
Oh. I'm so teared up from Maria's open. Come on, let's get this thing rolling. We got Rudy here. We got Rudy. We got Rudy here. First off, Rudy. Okay. Let me be honest. I thought Rudy had actually turned 80 a number of years ago, because nobody could be as crazy as this guy in less than 80 years, right?
Yeah, no, I was even crazier when I was younger.
Highly unlikely. You wouldn't have made it this far. Look, this is the greatest guy. The reason I'm honored to be here tonight, and I can't stay long because I got to go back and get the show ready for tomorrow. But honored to be here, Rudy. When I heard that, first off, I think Maria's got like 30 80th birthdays scheduled around the country for Rudy. I'm making the kickoff. This is the kickoff in Florida. So exactly. This is a very motley crowd too. Very, very nicely attired, but I'm telling you, this is.
Can we show a picture?
Yeah, I can definitely say Palm Beach is a sunny place for shady people. Whoa! It's all MAGA, baby.
You know he's been hanging out here a lot.
Rudy, we got to pick up the energy here. This is a tough crowd, man. This is like a Vegas crowd. And whoa, we didn't. She was kidding. Honored to be here. There's a great crowd. You got Roger Stone. You got 20, MAGA leader types here that all want to get here. You got Mike Lindell. I love Mike Lindell. Actually, did the 5 o'clock show, and he was jumped by a bunch of hooligans. Well, they kind of came into a shot, and I think they accused him of selling lumpy pillows. I don't know. rumor has it.
It's a joke, or is that real?
No, they did come into the shot. They didn't accuse him of selling lumpy, but I think they were Antifa or something. He was at the president's in Minnesota. I don't think there was great. Mike will give you, I'm sure he'll give you an update. Trump bets. And I see Club 45. Club 45. Maybe. And 47. I've committed. I'll come back and speak to 45 and 47.
I have to design some pillows for him. Brooklyn pillow. What's that mean?
What's a Brooklyn pillow?
Oh, come on.
It's a piece of it's a curb.
Yeah,
it's a curb.
You don't sleep on it. And like a little concrete inside.
Oh, got it.
Come on, boys. We got to protect our guy, Mike.
Okay, you get Michael and I have so many other celebrities. Want to thank everybody. Caroline Wren, the party's amazing already.
But got to say one thing. Nobody understands the Trump electorate better than him.
Well, thank you.
They're
deplorables. They're the MAGA. They're the best.
Yeah,
best people. Last thing, I can tell you one thing. This movement across the country is ascendant. It was just announced today. It just announced today, right before he came on here. President Trump is going to go to the South Bronx, and he's going. Yes, President Trump is going to South. I think he's going next week to South Bronx.
He's got to take me.
No. We got to have Rudy.
I put half of them in jail. My first campaign appearance when I ran for mayor in the South Bronx, they threw tomatoes at me. The Italians did. Because they were mad at me for double crossing my own people. Because I put a whole bunch of them, bunch of the mafia guys up there in jail. The next time I did it, the Italian people from Brooklyn came with me. I didn't even know this. And they threw the tomatoes back at them. So
that's fantastic.
They better not go to the Bronx, otherwise I'm going to cause a riot.
Well, we'll make sure the South Bronx, President Trump's going to the South Bronx. So that shows you he did the bodega run, he did the construction run, he did to the firemen, he did everything.
Put on your serious hat. Is there a chance he could win New York?
You can answer that. I can't answer that.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
But we're going to say there's a chance. It means it's very hard.
Look, hold on. There's two things. Will President Trump get more official certified ballots in New York City than other people? Yes. But the machine there, look at what's happening in this court. I mean, it's a totally rigged system. So you can't, yeah.
A city in the world.
Mayor, I have a question for Steve before we go.
Okay, fine.
Those that have watched War Room probably have the answer. Tell us, your thoughts on the upcoming debates and just your reaction on Biden and Trump debating in June and September.
First of all, I just found out it's not a live audience. Why would President Trump ever do it without a live audience? Come on, he feeds off the audience.
What about 2020? What did we do in 2020? Weren't we? There was no live audience.
I think there
Was it, or-
for at least
I don't think so.
one was
One
not.
wasn't. Okay, yeah.
Right. So I would not. Yeah. I look, I'll believe that the debates happen when I see President Trump walk on the stage and shake the guy's hand. Right. Until that time.
So you think Biden's team is like they're more likely to find a reason not to go on that debate stage?
No. I think no, because I think look, Biden's trailing right now. I don't know why President Trump would debate him. He's trailing. You don't give the give the debate. But I don't like the fact there's not a live audience. But I'm sure President Trump's going to work all that out. But I'll believe it when they walk up on the stage because President Trump cuts a tough deal. I remember when we had the first the thing on the Intrepid. Right, they had all these rules, and they want Trump to go. And Rudy and I just went there and said, "There's not going to happen." Yeah, this is what Trump's going to do. He's going to go last. All that. President Trump's very demanding.
For the first debate that actually happened at Hofstra, they wanted a stool for Hillary.
Yes.
Now they really are stupid because I said, "Well, then we get a stool too." And they said, "Oh yeah, sure." So now we go up like 3 inches. Well, we want the stool. By the time we're finished, Trump is going through the ceiling. And they realized that.
Yeah. Look, President Trump will bench press Biden in a debate, right? Don't you think? I mean, I think, but when I see President Trump on stage, I'll believe it. I don't think you ought to do it without a live audience. You agree?
Had he and I been there, we would have made a counter offer.
Yes.
That would have.
You two negotiated last in the 2020 cycle.
2016.
The 2016 debate. Imagine walking into a room for negotiating.
Won and we closed because you got to win. Look, President Trump won the second, but it's like in business. You can win a deal, but you got to close the deal. Okay. They stole it in 2020 and they can't steal it. The only way that do what?
She said that and I just got fired.
It's WABC's loss. It's America's game, right? He's everywhere now. You're everywhere.
What is it? Sorry.
So my thought was you tell him, well, okay, I before I do this, we do home and home. You want me to do CNN? How about Newsmax? I mean, throw in a couple of things, right? And I don't just want to agree to 2. We can have 4.
Well, I think President Trump's announced a couple that maybe they haven't negotiated, right? Yeah.
Or I'm not just doing 2. And they end, 100 years before.
Did you get fired by WABC? Did he get fired?
Technically, he did. Technically,
yeah. They just.
I refuse to live by their prohibition that I cannot discuss it.
John Katzmatee said he told you every day for 6 years that you couldn't tell. Every day for 6 years you couldn't talk about the election.
I did everything.
Is that not true?
No, that's not true.
Okay.
Imagine.
I'm trying to get a record here.
Imagine that dynamic. You can't talk about
instigate.
Hold it. That's all you talk about. I know. You've got the lawsuit. Yeah, you're in a gag order. Oh, whoa.
So what?
You're feisty.
Yeah. Any future for not that anyone's asking, the presidential debate commission? That commission.
Fair and fair. What's the name? Fair.
That may be the best thing that the 2 of them agreed on.
Getting rid of the commission.
And our reasons. No.
President Trump's had it out for those guys a long time. Doesn't trust them. Yeah. Was it fair and call?
I'm sure.
Fair and call.
They control that commission.
You got so many other guests here.
Thank you, Steve.
I'm gonna if Mike Lindell, Mike Mike's okay, didn't get jumped. I want to say something.
Yeah.
This guy is not just the greatest mayor, not just put the mafia away, milking away, been there for President Trump. Rudy Giuliani is a guy you want to be in a foxhole with. I have never seen this guy. No. We've been in some tight situations. Anytime the country, anytime the country has needed him, Rudy's been there. Anytime the president's needing, Rudy's been there. Right. And I tell you right now, this is how dangerous they know this guy is. They have every instrument of state power to crush Rudy Giuliani, to bankrupt him, to put him in jail, to smear him. We're not going to let it happen. Okay. You're not only too good a man, Rudy at 80 years old. How many people at 80 years old? Your moment's now finally come. This is when America needs you the most, right? right?
Thank you.
Right. And we're not going to win in 2024 unless you're a major part of this. So let's hear it for Rudy Giuliani. We're honored to be in the presence of one of the greatest Americans that have ever been in this country. Thank you, brother.
The best. Very, very better.
Promo code war room for.
We're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Well, we are very, very pleased and honored to have Roger Stone with us. This guy is, I hope he doesn't get all upset. He's a genius. He's a complete genius. He understands politics better than anyone. If you need advice, this is the guy to go to. And he also tells you straight, how things are going. And President Trump is enormously lucky to have him on his side. And President Trump is terrific on his own. He can do anything, but he's got a team of people, and you're seeing a few of them that are, and Roger's right at the very top.
That's very kind. For me, it's a great honor to be here with the greatest mayor in New York City history, perhaps the greatest mayor in American history. I was a volunteer in the mayor's first campaign for mayor, the one that he narrowly lost, came back 4 years later and won. And of course, we're both huge admirers of President Ronald Reagan, who appointed the mayor to high office at the Justice Department. In fact, I told the mayor that a show he did recently about his speech at the Reagan Library was one of the best shows I've seen you do.
Well, thank you.
Because that speech was,
He's a lot.
I looked it up. I had to go look it up.
Yeah.
Your speech at the Reagan
About
Library.
the two most impactful presidents of the 20th century.
No question about
The
it.
first half and Reagan the second, because they were liberators. They liberated people. And I think Trump already, even with his one term, has been the most impactful. I mean, in a way, it's strange. Everything he did, Biden had to undo. I mean, it's really crazy.
Yeah,
But he had us going in exactly the right direction. So we got to pick up where we left off. And so how strong are we right now? And how much? Look, we all have the same question. How much do you fear their ability to cheat again?
I think that has a lot to do with how prepared we are, both technically and legally. In other words, I think we were ill prepared last time.
Take them, yeah, no doubt.
On paper, the president should have won going away. I think he still actually did. But there's a lot of elements to this. I'm happy about the change of leadership at the Republican National Committee. A big fan of Lara Trump. I know we are playing catch up ball, but I do think the technical and legal things that need to be done to deal with.
How are we playing catch up?
Well, in other words, we should have been, the National Committee should have been working on ballot security issues for the last 3 years. Just did not happen under our national chairwoman. It is happening now. There's a lot of different technologies that need to be vetted, need to be tested. Not everybody walks in the door, tells you they can do something with the voter files they can really do. Of course, everything has to be legal, but all of these issues, whether it is chain of custody issues, whether it is machine issues, whether it is mail-in ballot issues, they all can be dealt with. They all have to be dealt with. We have to be completely and totally prepared.
And we have to make decisions about the right place to do it. We can't be wrong about that.
Well, it's about 60 counties when you get right down to it. It's about 7, 8 states.
By any means. I mean, this reminds me a little bit of the decisions you make at the end of a campaign. Where are you going to send the president? Like I remember Bannon, I mean, it's too bad he left. I remember Bannon had an issue as to whether or not at the end we had like 3 more places we could go. Should we go to Pennsylvania or should we go to Minnesota? And we decided, I think we got a better chance of flipping Pennsylvania. So if we got only 2 more to go to, Pennsylvania and Michigan.
That's exactly right.
And it was a close call, but this is the kind of thing that has to happen early now.
In the closing days of his race against Jimmy Carter, Gerald Ford had to make a decision between going to Texas and Missouri and going to New York and Pennsylvania. He chose wrong.
Yeah.
He because of Doug Bailey and John Deerdorf, he thought that chasing moderates was more important than chasing conservatives. He narrowly lost Texas. He narrowly lost Missouri. And as you know, he narrowly lost the election. By the way, he wasn't close in Pennsylvania or New York.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that last decision, it can be a crucial decision. I've said this. I think, unlike the 2016 campaign, unlike the 2020 campaign, the people surrounding the president are highly capable, highly organized. They are running a very cost-efficient campaign because, as you know, we're going to get massively outspent by the Democrats. Massively outspent.
And I've never seen him campaign as well as he's doing. And it's strange to say, but those sessions outside of court are nothing short than, I mean, they're, Roger Ailes would be proud of him.
Yes, he
No,
would.
but like Roger would say, you got that microphone, man, make use of it. They give you that microphone. That microphone is there to get votes. Man, he doesn't waste a second on that microphone.
No, and I,
Plus, no histrionics, and he goes right at the key issues of the day.
I honestly think his Wildwood, New Jersey speech could have been the best speech I've ever given.
Yeah.
Best stump speech I've ever seen him give. And you know this, 100,000 people at the Jersey Shore. This is a state that eluded us in 2016 and 2020. New Jersey's definitely in play. There's no question about that. 100,000 people at the Jersey Shore. I mean, it's amazing. There's no other pop cultural figure. There's no other popular cultural figure, never mind political figure, who could do that. Donald Trump is the only one who could do that. Never seen anything like
So
it in my life.
what's the big obstacle between here and there? Conviction in New York? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be convicted. He shouldn't be. It should be dismissed. It should be a hung jury. But I think it's been discounted already. In New York, I don't see New York as the other cases are not going to go to trial. But maybe they have.
Look, I'm not a lawyer. You are. You know far more about this. But look, I have great confidence in the president's capabilities as a debater. On the other hand, I don't like going into any debate in which CNN can turn off the microphone, turn off the president's microphone when Joe Biden is speaking. I don't like that. The president draws strength from people. No studio audience. I don't like that either. It just demonstrates Donald there to go in right into the lion's den at CNN, which
in 2020, he once told me, "Tell him I'll go into the basement." I was negotiating the debates, and Biden was coming up with every excuse. Because of COVID, we'll debate 400 miles apart. So all kinds of ridiculous things. So I actually made that recommendation to the commission. I said, President Trump's willing to go in the basement. He's willing to go in the basement. And they thought I was mocking them.
Yeah.
We're serious. And he told me, I'll go to the damn basement. I don't give a shit.
Well,
You give a damn?
well, I mean, as you can see,
What he's like.
these two guys. I mean, look, he can't wait to get at Joe Biden. He can't wait to get at him. He knows that he will pulverize him. He's a brawler by nature. He knows he will pulverize the guy. But again, we need a level playing field in terms of the debate. So I think Dana Bash, Jake Tapper, Joe Biden, that's 3-on-1. That's 3-on-1.
No, I can't think of anyone, even Ronald Reagan, that you could put in that position. And I agree with you. Not I wouldn't agree to it, but he may come out of it.
He has a charmed life. There's no question about it. He's a different man than he was when I met him.
And he's more talented as a politician.
There's no question.
He's a totally different political force than he was in 2013.
I think he's the right man again at the right place at the right time. Could we use a little divine intervention? Yes, we certainly could.
Oh,
We'll be at mass Sunday morning praying for him. I assure you.
Oh, but you know, oh my gosh, you're going to be on the list then of the terrorists.
That could
Do
be.
you ever go to a Latin mass? Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I'm sorry. I didn't act like that.
Latin mass. I have no idea what you're talking about. Latin mass.
Kicker goes to Latin mass.
I know.
That poor Kansas City.
I know.
He actually thinks people should be married. He actually thinks that people should be married when they have a baby.
Palm Beach County has a great Latin mass, by the way. Great
Yeah.
Latin mass. Not that I've ever been there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that we will admit it. This guy is terrific.
So,
Thank God we have him. Thank God the Republic has him. When Trump wins in a few months, there'll be a bunch of people responsible and never one person. He'll be one of them.
So we have to ask, how did you both first meet? When did you both first meet each other?
In New York, right?
We met in New York. It's hard to say. It was the year Ron Silver got married.
He was a mutual friend of ours.
We met at Ron Silver's wedding.
Yep.
He was a liberal Democrat, but he was a big Giuliani
He
supporter.
was, and
He was a good
you
friend
and
of
I
mine.
started talking politics, and we had a mutual love for Ronald Reagan.
That's exactly right.
And pretty much have been, maybe you never 100% agree on everything, but pretty close to it.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan used to say, if my 80% friend is not my 20% enemy, we're doing a lot better than 80%.
Well, I used to say, be happier with 80% of the loaf than none of the loaf whatsoever. Right? Exactly.
That's a good
And
one.
I've always respected Roger's ability of that. You know, this is a science. I know people demean it, and politics is a science, and a few people are really, really good at it. Most people are fine.
Yeah.
He is really good at it. And
Hey-
unfortunately, there's some Democrats that are good
Yeah,
at it too.
very good.
One more question for both of you
He's
before
the few that can go up against Democrats.
you both
But we're a little weaker than they are.
you both worked for numerous presidents. You both worked with or for President Trump. If it's true, what sets President Trump apart? I mean, they're all different, but what makes Trump different than maybe some of the others you've worked with, or just politicians, high-level politicians? We don't have to keep it to just presidents.
People misunderstand the innate toughness of Donald Trump. He's the toughest man I know. Now, look, I worked for Richard Nixon. I worked for Bob Dole. They were tough guys. Donald Trump is the toughest guy I've ever met. And when it comes to negotiating for the United States, he's the guy you want negotiating for you. There's a reason why Xi didn't move on Taiwan during the Trump years. There's a reason Putin didn't move on Ukraine during the Trump years, because Trump understood the value of unpredictability. The guy he's tough as nails. Nobody else could put up with what he's already put up with. And I think people underestimate that toughness.
Everything Roger says is correct. I'm going to go to a different side of him. I think that Donald Trump has a love of America that just comes out. And for example, in 2016, I was amazed because we just had Romney, and Romney couldn't relate at all. And here we have a billionaire, and the common man just gravitates toward it. First time I travel with him, people are 20,000 people, 30,000 people, 40,000 people. And the rallies that he is a political weapon no American president's ever had. Even I'm not sure Ronald Reagan could have done.
Could definitely not have done
I
it.
mean, his speech. Well, to me, Ronald Reagan, I'll put him on Mount Rushmore myself. I'll do it all myself, even though I'm too old and who knows what I end up with. But that political weapon is deadly. And remember, in 20, because of COVID, they took that weapon away from him.
That's right.
And even if he does it once a week, I mean, just the last one alone. No one in American politics has been able to come close. John Kennedy, and we're talking about really talented people. They had their own talents, but nobody has that talent.
No, the ability,
Unbelievable.
just the ability to draw that many people in public.
And it you know what it does in these closely drawn elections where it's no longer going to the middle. It's bringing out your base. It brings your base out, and it grows your base. Everybody gets enthusiastic. The other guy, they're like, Trump.
I think
Big difference.
I think one of the differences is that people realize that Donald Trump is genuine. They realize he's authentic. They know that he's not coached. He's not handled. They know that what you see is what you get. And they know he's completely unpredictable. So they never know what he might say. So people want to tune in for the show.
I enjoy it. Now, I was there, I think, at the first one. I introduced him 25 times in 16 because I had a routine with Johnny, his guy. And it was, I'd have the 2-minute introduction, the 5-minute, the 10-minute introduction. I did 20-minute introductions, depending on how much fun he was having,
Right.
shaking hands. You'd come out and go, or, but he has so much. So I've seen 50 of them, 60 of them. I still watch them and I get entertained.
And they're always different. They're never exactly the same.
I mean, it's like the Ed Sullivan show.
It's not a set piece, It's not a set piece.
One more question, Mayor. I'm sorry, I have to ask. We got the great Roger Stone with us. If President Trump faced something similar, of course, you worked for President Nixon. If he faced something similar to Watergate, would the outcome have been different? Would he have allowed those Republicans in the Senate to run him out of town?
Well, he did face something very similar to Watergate, Russiagate, Obamagate, call it whatever you want. It is nothing worse than the illegal and illegitimate use of the full authority of the U.S. government and the capability of our intelligence agencies utilizing falsified evidence to try to remove a sitting president.
Very well.
That makes Watergate look like small potatoes.
I mean, you talk about insurrection. They were using falsified purchased evidence to unseat a lawfully elected president.
And they knew it. They knew it wasn't
All do
real.
it, including Obama, including Biden, including Shifty Schiff, who wants to be in the Senate. He was one of the leaders. I mean, it's ridiculous that they've escaped prosecution for that.
Indeed. Totally agree. We shall.
God bless you, and thank you for all you've gone through with tremendous dignity and strength. What they did to you the day they arrested you, having been a person who was involved in law enforcement all my life, it was just absolutely disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. And it's not just you. Look at all those poor January 6th people, or the people who protest abortion.
Very easy. Okay.
They bring out the Gestapo to arrest him. It's terrible.
Oh, Mary, very.
But what I admire is you went through it with great dignity and strength, and it helped all of us.
Well, I appreciate that very much. But Mayor, today's about you and it's about your
All right.
birthday.
Yeah.
So it's a great honor to be with you.
The great Roger Stone.
delivers on its promise to do good and never forget the sacrifices America's greatest heroes have made for us. Heroes who risked their lives to keep our communities and our country safe. Heroes like United States Marine Corps Captain and pilot John Jeremy Sachs. Captain Sachs sustained fatal injuries when his military aircraft crashed during training, killing him and 5 other service members. He's remembered by loved ones as courageous, brilliant, and devoted to his career, family, and friends. John is survived by his wife, Amber, who gave birth to their second daughter 3 months after his death. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family home for Amber and their 2 daughters. The foundation has helped over 1,000 military and first responder families navigate the worst of times by removing the burden of a mortgage payment. Our nation's heroes and their families need your help now more than ever. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. T2T.org. That's T, the number 2T.org. T2T.org. Please donate now.
You caught me. This is Rudy Giuliani. We're back with America's Mayor Live. This is, I guess, one of my 80th birthday celebration, put on by all these wonderful people that you've seen so far. Dr. Maria, Ted,
Caroline,
and Steve and Roger. And now we have the incomparable Caroline Wren. This is so wonderful. You want her on your side, baby. You don't want her on the other side. You're going to lose.
Caroline?
Thank you.
Thank you for having me and happy birthday.
Well, God bless you for saying that. But most of all, thank you for fighting so hard for our republic to save it. And tell us where you think we are and what people have. I mean, this woman is in the trenches every
Right.
day, and she has a certain perspective on it. You're talking to people like Bannon and Stone and this woman. They know what's going on, and I know you want to win it really bad. So let's listen to them.
Well, first off, I'm glad you actually called us what we are, which is a republic, because I'm so sick of the media constantly saying that we're a threat to democracy. Well, yeah, right? Come on, everyone.
This is an old mayor trick.
Shh.
Okay.
No, I'm glad that you actually called it what we are, which is a republic. And the media always tells us that we're all a threat to democracy. Well, democracy is two wolves and one lamb deciding what to have for lunch. And we are a republic.
Jefferson, Hamilton and Madison would agree with you.
Yes, correct. And so I love that you said that. But
we're not allowed to talk about that.
right now, I heard a little bit earlier of your segment. I know we're all excited about Trump's crowd sizes. I was excited about them in 2020. I was excited about them in 2016. I was excited about the crowd sizes for Kari Lake in 2022. Guess what? Crowd sizes don't equal the votes that the Democrats know that they need and have to steal on election day. Steal is a relative term. I like to use the term bought. They purchased these votes and they purchased them early. I always say that we did not lose the election in November of 2020. We lost it between March and August of 2020 when Mark Zuckerberg and a team of lawyers with Mark Elias systematically went in and changed all of our voting laws right in front of our face, by the way, and infused $600 million of private funding into our public election systems. Well, guess what? We're in that window right now. We're in that March to August window, and they're doing it the same. And while I love that we're having massive rallies on beaches in New Jersey, what are we doing to stop what they're doing right now to change our election laws in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona? And let me give you a few examples. Right now, the Medicaid offices in each of these swing states are registering illegal voters, and that is a fact. We are trying to get into different lawsuits. In fact, Governor McMaster is bringing one through a red state, which is a smart way to do it.
My friend for 50 years.
Wonderful.
I love McMahon.
But when you go and apply for Medicaid and you're not a citizen, you are given a social security card.
He won't bullshit you. He'll come.
He won't. Oh, he is. But you're given a social security card, and they are automatically registering people to vote. And we have evidence of that in several states right now. That is happening right now, and that's an example of how they're stealing it in front of our face, and we are not doing enough to be in court and stopping it. Another example of this is Governor Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan just passed an executive order to automatically register every single person who has been released from prison as a felon. These things are happening right now while we are having big rallies on beaches. And I mean, I love the Trump team and everything else, but I'm sitting here up at night worried about this stuff. Another thing, in Arizona, the Secretary of State and Governor's Office announced a joint election task force to pay universities based off how many students they get registered, which is, by the way, illegal. You can't do, but they're using our federal tax dollars, and they partnered with an Arabella Advisors 501c3 to do it.
Tell them what that is.
So Arabella Advisors is probably the most dangerous weapon. In 2004, the Democrats had lost the House, Senate, and presidency. And so George Soros called a meeting of the top 30 donors who had funded it and said, hey, we're not going to fund this anymore. You keep losing elections for us, and come back to us with an idea that actually invest our money in people, ideas, and institutions that'll live beyond a single election cycle. And from that, you got something called Democracy Alliance and Arabella Advisors. We are now, I guess, 20 years out of that meeting. It's the most consequential meeting of all time. The left moves all of their money through nonprofits and non-disclosed entities, and they've weaponized nonprofit giving to win elections. And we are 70% of the country. They are 30%, but they're dictating who is in office right now because they have weaponized the system. Arabella Advisors is the entity behind that.
And that is a Soros-funded
entirely
operation. By the way, a desecration of a great Strauss opera, Arabella.
Yeah.
But screw him.
Yeah.
The guy loves to say that you're anti-Semitic if you criticize him. Actually, you're anti-Semitic if you don't criticize him.
Yeah.
He once said that I was anti-Semitic for criticizing him, and I said I'm a better Jew than he is.
Right.
And they were afraid to ask me why. Well, I'll tell you why, because I haven't killed Jews.
Well, it's laughable that any Democrat would accuse us of being anti-Semitic at this point, since they openly support Hamas and actually want to bring those people into our country, the citizens. So,
and the evil man.
Yeah.
And so, what are we doing? How are we combating this?
Well, in traditional Republican terms, we are doing nothing that I've seen. But I'm saying no. But now, right now, actually, there are a lot of us who have actually have a fire lit under us right now. So one important thing that we're doing is we've actually started. It's time we go on offense. Why are we always on defense?
Yeah,
We are the majority of this country. I'm so sick of being on defense. So if you just saw, we announced a big whistleblower fund. By the way, $5 million whistleblower fund. If you work in an election office, you see any evidence of election crime happening, please contact us because this is where we're going to start doing them, by the way, by state in each of the swing states, because a lot of these mules that you see, they really are actually not that politically active. They're just paid $10 per ballot. We'll offer you $15 per ballot. And it's time to start. Let's fight fire with fire. For the love of God, I'm saying, if we're not going to win these lawsuits, the justice system is, you know about the justice system being compromised. Let's play their game. You know what? In Michigan, they just passed. If you apply for a chauffeur's license, you get automatically registered to vote. Okay, how about this? How about if you apply for a gun license, a hunting license, a boating license, a fishing license, we automatically register you to vote. It's time for Republicans to grow a spine, any sort of spine, and play the game the left is playing, and we stop just sitting back and thinking, oh, but we have big rallies, so we're going to win. It's like, that's not how this works. It's not how the left is playing this game.
The inside of politics is what's going to decide this election. The ground game, what we used to call the ground game.
So the Republicans all want to tell us to chase, that we need to chase the ballot or rebrand it. But the Democrats, by the way, are chasing the ballots right now. And like we are talking about doing it in some sort of ground game in October. Elections are not won in October and November. They are won right now. And I think we're flat footed right now. I think everyone needs to wake up. Enough with the cocktail parties. That's why for your birthday party, it wasn't a birthday party. It's a strategy session.
So tell me. Okay. So now tell me what I have to tell the number one guy needs to be focused on.
I think that the number one guy has enough on his plate right now that he is so underwater. So look, right now, I want to get organized to help him. He has every single thing on his plate right now. He is doing anything and more than he can. I think right now with things like whistleblower funds, I think we need to get aggressive about those. I actually think they're very much going to work. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are willing to come forward and talk about the way that but you have to realize.
So but you're going to have to convince Republicans to volunteer and get involved in election counting and election machine politics, so they can pick this stuff up.
You can, but also a lot of these people don't allow you in. If you remember in Atlanta, they're shutting the doors, they're locking the doors, they're closing the blinds. We say that we can just watch. You can't just watch. And Maricopa County, you think we can just, a Super Bowl that we all buy tickets and show up to? I mean, these things are calculated and coordinated, and it changes every time they do it. The way that they stole Arizona from us in 2020 was very different from in 2022. In 2022, they just shut down Election Day. They knew they couldn't Carrie Lake was going to win overwhelmingly. She was up 11 points in every poll. And so they printed 19-inch ballots on 20-inch paper, broke and jammed all the machines at 61% of polling stations and 85% of the state, and then said, oh, it was just a systematic failure. So while yes, the polls look great for Trump and we're all excited, but I'm sitting here trying to think one step ahead of what the Democrats are doing. And I don't feel comfortable right now. I don't think any of us should. I think that we all need to be thinking about, okay, if we can't beat them at that, let's play the game that they're playing.
So people that are listening to this should volunteer to help right now. On getting ready for ballots, learning about this, being trained. And this group that you have, whistleblowers, I like that. I think that but how can I help you to the extent that we have an audience here? How can I help you get that out?
So for right now, I would wait. I'll come back in 2 weeks and kind of describe how we're going to do it, because tell people
this microphone
Republicans, we tend to tell the Democrats what we plan to do. And so instead, there's a lot that you and I, when this camera goes off, I'll tell you all about it, Rudy. But you know what? I know that the Democrats are watching right now. They operate in the dead of night and they do this stuff. And so as Republicans, we need to stop just advertising exactly what we're going to do. And instead, I just want the left to be on notice that we have caught on to what you're doing. We are coming for you. We're going to play the exact game that you play. And I like to tell people too, if you are a Harry Potter fan, this is sad, but I'm willing to be a Horcrux. I will die to kill one of these people to bring them down the system that they're doing, because some of us have to be willing to, because if we have to be charged with what they are committing, what I think are open crimes, but what the left says is this is legally allowed. So let's play their game. Let's do it.
All have gotten beyond projection. They accuse us of what they do.
Exactly.
And then they get some of us to feel guilty.
I don't feel guilty.
No, I know you don't. Sure. But we have nice people. But problem with us is we have people that are they're too naive.
Right.
And they just,
Right.
maybe that's true.
Because Republicans are nice capitalists that like typically go to work and then come home to their families. The left, their entire life and structure is built around this
And that's gonna
just
take me-
destruction of Western civilization, and they don't believe in the
Caroline,
nuclear family. And so,
Talk, and you'll be back in 2 weeks.
Right.
And please feel free to use these microphones, and I can help you with it. I mean, we have a little. I'd like it better organized, but we have like a little group of people who get the truth out. Like
right.
you saw them. Roger's on. Steve is on. I have a whole little group of about 10 people. So by the time we get something out, we're starting to reach a big audience.
Steve usually calls me between 4 and 7 times before 8 a.m. We've had a discussion, but Steve and I calls every morning. Let's strategize. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we've all got to get in a room and truly strategize. But I think that I think the country is overwhelmingly with us. I mean, it's just
No doubt about it.
the energy and all of it. But the left they're smarter than us. I'm just going to say it. Which time we need to say it out loud. They're smarter and more calculated in exactly what they do. And so Republicans, I say, chase votes, and Democrats chase ballots. And there's a very big difference in that. And we need to start to wake up and fight fire with fire.
Okay, and I'll add only one other thing to it. Republicans are generally honest, and Democrats are generally crooks. Yeah. We'll be back very shortly.
Is something that you can plug into your television, and now you can use your television as a social television type experience. So in the Portal universe, you can watch your favorite content creators' videos, live streams, music. We also have TV subscriptions as well.
TV subscriptions.
So you can also
regular channels, all the sports.
Right, you can actually cut your cable from your cable subscription and get QUX TV on our QX TV boxes, and you can pay half the price that you're currently paying for your cable television subscription, and you can get all the best premium TV channels and more. I mean, it's really, there's so much on there, Rudy. I mean, you've seen it.
No, I've seen it and I use it, and it's I mean, it's just exactly the same except for half the price. Plus, nobody is finding out what I'm watching, and that's not being reported to anybody.
Right, so you have absolute privacy using this device, which you don't have on other devices out there currently on the market.
This is absolutely great. QUX.TV is how you can find out about it. QUX.TV.
Use promo code RUDY to receive $30 off.
We are back on America's Mayor Live, and here you have the guy. I stuck him on camera last night. Look, he's fixing his hair. He's getting all that.
He wants to kill the ratings. He wants all these great ratings, all these big stars, and then he wants to bring me on. No.
So this is the man that I invented this show. This was our idea back in October of 2023, correct?
2022
or 2022
for the midterm election. Right. Oh my goodness!
And it began as my fulfilling a fantasy, not the kind that the perverts have. This was a real, honest to decent fantasy. I've always wanted to do a baseball broadcast, and the Yankees had offered me doing color, but I wanted to do play-by-play, so we did it, and we did it on Twitter. And we got 11, and then all of a sudden it became this, and we got some million audiences, and then they cut us, and then Elon took over, and anyway, we got a great show now.
Oh my goodness! And now this is episode 410. We haven't missed a day. We haven't missed a weekday in 80. I guess that's 82 weeks.
And we're fighting for one thing: our job, the way I envision it. Every morning I get up, and what I look for at 5. And then I go back to sleep. I want to tell you, but every morning I wake up and I look for the news you're not going to get anywhere else, or you're going to get in censored, screwed up form. And I try for us to like this attack on the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs.
The great Harrison Bucker.
They're going to go after him on CNN and do this and do that. So we spent a lot of time on him today.
We did.
Or how they will leave it with the fact that in Georgia, they actually found that there are 375,000 missing votes. And it's not a big deal.
And we can't even talk about that. By the way, it's in some places.
If I did it on WBC,
if you even reported on it, right? It's on
fire.
And so it's insane. So as the mayor said, and now the mayor, we're doing 2 shows daily because of WABC's actions. They've graciously increased our workload a little bit. We now have 2 live stream shows every weekday, and we're not slowing down. The mayor's already talking about adding hours.
The Truth at 10 a.m.
with the
great Dr. Maria, who knew about COVID before COVID knew about COVID.
That's right. That's right. But so, Mayor, I just want to take a second. I know you hate when we do this. Of course, tonight we're here in Palm Beach, celebrating a great American life and all of his great accomplishments. And of course, Mayor, you mean so much to so many, and this is a message to our audience as well. A lot of you have been with us from day one. And of course, you all understand what I understand. And we have to explain this to those on the left, and we have to remind them time and time again. I'm sitting next to the man who literally took down the mafia. I'm sitting next to the man who took down the biggest cheats on Wall Street in the 1980s when they were getting away with damn near murder, right? In the white collar sense. I'm sitting next to the man who cleaned up the streets of New York City. He saved the city. I have liberals on the Upper East Side daily coming up to us when I'm with the mayor, when I'm not with him, saying how they miss Giuliani. We want him back. These are people that haven't voted Republican in 20-something years. And they understand what this man meant to New York City. And of course, this is the man who comforted not just the nation, but the entire world on September 11th, 2001. I was in 5th grade on that day. And I remember the reaction of 3 people, right? President Bush, my own father, and Mayor Rudy Giuliani. This man, the morning of, when so many were understandably running away from the towers, he made his way to the towers. He went down there. He wanted to be there with his people because he understood when that city and those people elected him as mayor, it was his responsibility. And we cannot say it enough and just sing your praises, Mayor, for the physical courage you showed that day. We talk about courage, right? But on that day, that was physical sheer courage. And time again, since that day, you've proven yourself to be a man of integrity, someone who's always strived to do the right thing. And you are a man who's had a more of a positive impact on more lives in this country than almost anyone else alive. So, Mayor, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me, but this isn't about me, but obviously everything I've learned and I've grown and things I've done with you the last year and a half. But more importantly, I want to thank you for everything you've done to this country and to the American people. The American people and the people that don't have a microphone, the people that don't necessarily have a platform. Those are the people you represent. Those are the people you looked out for. You did more for Black lives in New York City as mayor than any of these race baiters, right? Than any of these people who stand up there and claim to be a champion of the minority community or these communities. You've done more than those people. And a lot of us know that. And a silent majority of this country know that. So, Mayor, I want to thank you. Thank you for your accomplishment. But you're just getting started. We got way too much more to go.
Well, thank you. I'm not good at listening to that. But I appreciate it so much. I can't tell you how much I love you and Dr. Maria and Steve and Caroline and Roger and all these people together. We're in a struggle that is going to be in the history books. And I think I know how it's going to come out, but I'm not sure. I don't want to over dramatize it, but it's like when our forefathers, who I admire and they trash, signed the Declaration, and we're signing the greatest document in the world ever for creating freedom and the rule of law, or maybe they were signing their death warrant. Probably a better chance they were signing their death warrant.
That's right. That's right.
But they signed it. And that's the way I feel we have to live up to that. Every generation has to live up to that. That's the only way we preserve it. This is what Jefferson told us. This is what Ronald Reagan told us. This is what Donald Trump is telling us. And the time has come now. There's no choice. There's no, this country has been taken over. You pick the word you want to describe it for. Fascists, communists, authoritarians, somewhat Nazi with all the anti-Semitism. My God, how can that nitwit in the White House sit by and watch this attack on Jewish people that's going on and not doing anything about it? When I saw the pogrom in Brooklyn that was going on during the Dinkins administration, I went there myself, damn it, in my own car. And I went to see the Grand Rebbe.
And that's
walked through it.
And that's real courage.
And I drove it and they came up to my car and I said, get the hell out of here. And I'm telling you, read my book, one chapter, Stand Up to Bullies. When they come up to you and you say to them, get the hell out of here, they get out of there. So let's stand up what we believe in. This is a great country. They've taken it away from us.
That's
You
right.
can't do to Donald Trump what you're doing in that courtroom if they have
That's
taken
right.
our country away. We're going to have to take it back and we're going to have to reestablish it. And this is a big, big endeavor. I wish I had the talent and the ability to really explain it to you. But I'll bring in everybody else who can do that.
Well,
But I sure have the will to do it.
take a break. Yeah. I'm getting interrupted here.
Oh my goodness.
All right. I'm going to go over so I can move the camera around. Wow.
How did you like seeing him on the camera the other night? Good looking guy, right?
Oh, geez. I don't know.
We got a lot of
Yeah.
women. They wrote in. Can I have his phone number?
Yeah. Oh, man. Come around, guys. Come on if you want to stand around. Stand behind if you want to stand behind. Just watch your step. Guys,
Watch the cord.
come on in. Come on in. Watch the cords, though.
Watch your cords, everybody.
Yeah, come on in. We want
really going to do
to come over there so I can, someone sit here. Come on up if you want to get in here. Come on, guys. Come back. Guys, bring them in. Lynn, Megan, get in here, guys. Slide over that way.
Dr. Maria, I may need oxygen.
Yeah.
I may need oxygen. I'm ready.
Guys, come on.
I may need oxygen.
So I'm gonna go control the camera a little bit. Come on back here. Where's Loretta? Loretta, you want? Drea, where's Drea?
Maria, come here.
Maria, someone take my seat.
There.
I have to go. I'm gonna do the camera so we can show. Okay, Caroline, guys, get in.
Come on, everybody.
All right.
Everybody.
Come on in. I'm gonna go operate the camera. All right. Caroline, get in.
I need Dr. Maria here. If I blow this out,
Where's Lenny?
I may run out of oxygen at my advanced age.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lee. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to our hero, Rudy. There's only one speech. There's only one speech. Thank you, and let's all stick together. This time we can make no mistakes. If we want our country back. Do you want your country back? Then we got to work like hell from now until election day, and who knows, maybe after, which I've learned. But they're not taking this country away from us. No. I don't care what you call them, fascists, Democrats, communists, liberals, Nazis, jerk off. They don't believe in, they do not believe in, and they want to change what our founding fathers gave us. Well, we're up to the people came before us. We're going to stand up. We're going to win it back. And then, led by Donald Trump, we're going to reestablish this country as the greatest country on earth, as the city on a hill of Winthrop and Ronald Reagan that everybody can admire.
Want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to